This is the Jug O Sip podcast.
Went one time when I was, this is my fourth time. I went one time when I was 3, one time when I was 9, one time when I was 16, in which I got the flu on that trip, and that sucked. I got the flu like the first night there, and I just was miserable the whole time. And I went this time when I was 31.
As for me, this was the very first time that I ever went to Disney World.
So if you haven't been to Disney in a while, and you're one of these people that went when you were a kid or a teenager and want to go back, or never been, things have changed. There's no longer characters just freely walking around. And that, I know it helps control the environment, but it is very sad. Because I miss being able just to walk up to characters that are just standing there and smiling, waving. I don't know, just the whole vibe of the world in general. There's a new rigidity that we have now that isn't as free-spirited as what it used to be.
Right.
And then the Fast Pass used to be that if you stayed at the Disney parks, you could use your hotel pass as a Fast Pass.
Yeah.
Now, I think they also had a thing where at some point you could get pay for a Fast Pass or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think would be great. I mean, personally, I would rather pay for a Fast Pass and get unlimited uses.
Yeah.
Now they have this thing where you have to get a wristband or use your card, like your ticket to the park.
Right.
You have to go on your phone on a phone app, schedule what time you want to go on a ride. You only get a certain amount of Fast Pass uses a day.
Yeah.
And that's very unfortunate because the lines weren't even all that horrible to begin with. Some of them I was willing to wait a couple of hours for because I wanted to ride them. But whatever reason they
that
closed down or
that
whatever.
Fast Pass thing was its own. Well, I'll tell you what, because we're about to get into the whole park situation. Let's just let's talk about the first day. So the first park we did at Disney World.
We did the Hollywood Studios the first day.
And for those who are listening who have never been, Disney World and Disneyland are two different parks. Disney World is in Florida. Disneyland is in California.
And they have different things. Like, for example, in Hollywood Studios, we have at Florida's Disney World, the Hollywood Tower of Terror, which is one of my favorite rides. And I ride it's religious when I go to the Hollywood Studios. I do, because it used to be formerly known as MGM Studios. MGM used to be a part of it.
Yeah.
They had a replica of the Chinese Theater in LA.
Yeah.
And they had the Great Movie Ride in it, which they have removed since they've separated from MGM, and it's devastating to me.
Yeah.
And but anyway, at that park, we had
really quick, in Disney World, it's actually a collection of 4 parks. There are Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood, and Epcot. And Magic Kingdom is the one with the big ass castle that you see anytime you watch a Disney movie. Like
the
Cinderella Castle.
And which now, fun fact, you can stay there in a hotel. It's a very expensive thing, but you can stay in Cinderella's castle now, which I think is lovely. And I think if I go to Disney in future, I'd like to do it up and probably stay there.
But the first day we actually went into the park, we ended up going into Hollywood Studios. Now, when we went into Hollywood Studios, every level of financial cynicism I had turned on at the same time. I took one look at this kiosk of Lilo and Stitch plushies, and they were just these little teddy bear things. These things, what were they, like $15, $30?
Something like that.
A piece?
The thing
I took one look at that and my wallet almost exploded in my pocket. I was like, absolutely not.
And we weren't thirsty for money. We were making good money. I mean, we still are, but then, we were definitely not suffering.
Yeah, but, it's not like we would have felt it, but it was such a was a bad thing to spend money on.
I was vibrating with joy because that's one of my favorite parks because one, as I mentioned, the Tower of Terror is there. The Rock and Roller Coaster by Aerosmith is there. And the Voyage of Little Mermaid show is there. And I'll explain to you why that is such a sentimental show to me later.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we in this park and we going through. And I'm just like, ain't none of these motherfuckers gonna get into my money. You ain't doing that. You can't have it. You can't have my money, Disney.
Yeah, that changed a little bit throughout the park. You can't have it.
I'm gonna get to that.
That's where it's got. He got his inner child switch.
Wait a second. Hard. Wait a minute. We gonna get to that. All right. We gonna get to that. All right. So we in the Disney park and we walking around. And I'm not a Disney person. I was not really a fan of Disney as a kid. I was a very grumpy child.
You were born an angry old man.
I was the kind of kid where at 3 years old, I would be screaming Lion King in the movie theater in my stroller. But the second Mufasa died, I just checked out because the other 2 acts were terrible.
To me, I checked out after Timon and Pumbaa.
I didn't even, man, I damn near forgot those characters were in the movie until I watched it again at 10. You can find us on Google and all social media at Jug O Sip Podcast.
New episodes release every Monday and Friday.